Alright, I will admit I'm not a huge fan of musicals, so going into this I had some skepticism. Did it turn out okay? Les Miserables is a movie that follows Hugh Jackman, who plays Jean Valjean, and he is a criminal, kind of. Actually, he really is. He stole something a long time ago, and then he's been away for, I think he said 19 years in the movie, and then he eventually gets released on parole. He breaks parole, though, to just try and live a normal life and get away from all of his past things that he's done. Russell Crowe plays the lawman Javert, who's following him, and he's hot at his tail sometimes, and then, you know, 8 years go by and he's lost him. So this movie does quite a few time jumps, so this movie takes place over a long period of time, and eventually what happens is, years after he disappears and Russell Crowe has no idea where he is the mayor of this town, and Anne Hathaway has a child who she is trying to pay for and keep alive, but she doesn't make a lot. She's a factory worker. Eventually Hugh Jackman takes the kid in. He takes her in and becomes a father figure to her, and she grows up with him and they keep moving around. And I've said too much. I bet I've said too much. Alright, like I said, going into this, I'm not a huge fan of musicals, so I had some skepticism. I didn't see myself enjoying 2 hours and 40 minutes of almost all singing, but to be honest, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not gonna go completely into detail on this, but this movie is beautiful. It's immaculately acted. It's overall such a great experience. Now, the acting, first off, Hugh Jackman in this lead role I thought was fantastic in this movie. I could absolutely see him winning Best Actor for this. Yes, over Danny Day-Lewis in Lincoln. He's just absolutely perfect in this movie. His character is someone I could understand why he did what he did, and you want his character to just get away from this dark past that he just hates. Then you have Russell Crowe as Javert, who's following him, and I thought Russell Crowe was really good in this movie. A lot of people have been complaining about his singing and how it's not good at all, and you could tell that he's just not really good at it. And honestly, I didn't notice it that much. There were a few scenes like when he was sharing scenes with other people and singing, it seemed like he was just not up to par with them, but when he was alone, I thought he was fine. And for the actual acting in the movie, he's great, of course. Russell Crowe is great. Then you have Anne Hathaway, who plays the mother, I forget her name, but she's the mother of the daughter Hugh Jackman takes in. She was great in the movie, but she was in it for such a small amount, I was really shocked because I had no idea about this story. I hadn't seen anything or read anything based on Les Miserables before, so I had no idea where this plot was gonna go. And the way they took her character was surprising, yet it made sense. So for the portion she was in, she was fantastic. Now, Tom Hooper directs this movie, and as I said before, this movie is absolutely beautiful to look at. There are just so many epic shots throughout the movie that just seemed like they took so much time and put a lot of energy into it. It just makes it feel real. This is the first Tom Hooper movie I've seen, so I can't really judge on his past works, but from what I've seen, I really like his direction. The way he films the actors, it really sometimes gets up right in your face, and when they're especially like sad or just singing about how much they hate life, Anne Hathaway, I'm talking about her, it's really disturbing and it's hard to watch at times, but that's really what it's supposed to be, so that part is really well done. I thought the singing was gonna get on my nerves eventually during the movie, and honestly, it was kind of irritating at the beginning, but then as the movie got on, I just really got into it. Honestly, by maybe the 20 or 30 minute mark, I didn't mind it at all, so that was a really good thing for me, especially because I was just really into the movie, I was really into the story and Hugh Jackman's character. And there are a few scenes in this movie that are especially sad and or disturbing. Like I said before, when Anne Hathaway's singing I Dreamed a Dream, or what happens right before that, should I say, is really just creepy, and it just makes you fidget in your seat a little bit. It's disturbing. And you feel really bad for her character because all she's doing is trying to get money for her daughter, and she has to do all these awful things, and it's really bad. And then by the end of the movie, there's a really emotional part. I really enjoyed the ending. It was emotional and it really got me. I didn't cry or anything, but it was a really nice ending in my opinion. I really enjoyed that part. Now, I have two problems with this movie. One's a minor thing and one's kind of major. So I'm gonna start with the major thing. This movie just kind of changes the story halfway through, and what I mean by that is Hugh Jackman is essentially the main character throughout the whole movie. And then once you reach the second half, it starts becoming about the French Revolution and not about his personal story anymore, really. For like a half hour, it seemed like, to me at least, he was just not in the movie and they were just introducing all these new characters. It's like, why are you doing this halfway through the movie? I didn't really enjoy that part. I got why they did it because it was in a later portion of time, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I would have enjoyed seeing more of Hugh Jackman. So that's a kind of major thing. And the minor thing is Sacha Baron Cohen is in this movie. Okay, when he first came on the screen, I was actually enjoying it. It was kind of funny, and he and Helena Bonham Carter had a good scene. And I thought that would have been it, you know, they would have been just one scene, and that would have been the end of it. Then they keep popping up and doing these stupid, cheesy, funny things, and it just irritated me to the point where I just wanted their characters to die. They didn't really fit all that much into the movie, in my opinion at least. And it was really stupid. All they do is keep trying to steal these people, and it's like, how do you not notice you're having this shit stolen from off of you when they're right next to you? That part irritated me more than the lack of Hugh Jackman, but that was a more minor thing, so those two things add up to me giving this movie an overall a B+. It's still worth your time. It's a really great, emotional, gripping piece, but just those parts irritated me and annoyed me. I didn't love it completely, but I loved it for the most part, so I highly suggest you go seeing Les Miserables, especially around Christmas time. It's a really good Christmas type movie, at least from what I remember from yesterday. So what are you guys' thoughts going into Les Miserables? Should I watch any of the other adaptations? Which ones are good? Which ones are bad? Help me out here, please. Write me the comments down there and tell me what you think. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button down there, because if you don't, I'll start singing.